U.S. President Donald Trump reiterates he wants Canada to become the 51st state. What was once considered a joke made at a dinner in Mar-a-Lago seeming far more serious. Ontario voters are set to head to the polls in less than 3 weeks, and a new survey shows the most important issues on their minds. And the Super Bowl is in full swing with the Chiefs going for a historic three-peat and the Eagles looking for redemption. Here's a live look at Real Sports Downtown, where a Super Bowl party is underway. It is 8 o'clock -4. You're watching Toronto's Breaking News, CP24. Hello, I'm Sija Liu. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. We begin with news out of the U.S., where President Donald Trump has once again said he would like to see Canada become the 51st state.
I love the people of Canada. We have a great relationship. But if they became our 51st state, it would be the greatest thing they could ever do. It would be unbelievable. It would be a cherished state. And think of how beautiful that country would be without that artificial line running right through it.
Trump made the remark while on his way to watch the Super Bowl in New Orleans. He said he wants to see Canada become a state due to the unsubstantiated claim that the U.S. is paying $200 billion a year to its northern neighbor. He also said he would be fine with subsidizing Canada if it was a state.
We'll also be announcing steel tariffs on Monday.
On this tomorrow?
Monday, yeah, tomorrow.
What countries will those go on?
Everybody. Steel.
Including Canada and Mexico?
Yeah. Any steel coming into the United States is going to have a 25% tariff.
What about aluminum, sir?
Aluminum, too.
10%?
25%.
25 for aluminum as well?
25 for both.
Speaking to reporters on Air Force One today, Trump said he will also announce 25% tariffs on all steel and aluminum imports into the U.S. on Monday. He also says he will announce reciprocal tariffs on Tuesday or Wednesday to take effect almost immediately. Trump agreed to pause widespread 25% tariffs on Canadian goods earlier this month, saying Canada needed to stop the flow of fentanyl and illegal immigrants into the U.S. Meanwhile, Doug Ford has issued a response on social media saying this is the next 4 years, shifting goalposts and constant chaos, putting our economy at risk. I'm asking the people for a strong, stable 4-year mandate that outlasts the Trump administration to do whatever it takes to always be ready to protect Ontario. NDP leader Marit Stiles writes, as Premier, I will fight to protect workers and defend every single job against Donald Trump's threats to put tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum. Ontario's workers are not going to take this lying down. They will fight back, and I will be right there to fight with them. Healthcare and the economy are the top 2 issues for Ontarians in the provincial election, according to new polling, as candidates push their vision for the province. CTV's Beth McDonnell has the latest from the campaign trail.
On the streets of Liberty Village, there are people ready to vote in the provincial election based on the issues most important to them. At the top of the list, according to a new CTV Nanos poll, healthcare at 28% and the economy at 22%.
I feel like I'm more economically driven. I think the first 3 or 4 years before COVID hit were, I think, better, but it also might be an effect of COVID.
Healthcare has been an issue in the province. I had to have surgery for endometriosis last year. It took me 4 years to see a specialist.
The environment, education, taxes, and housing are also key issues across Ontario. Premier Doug Ford says he called the early election to fight tariffs at 14%, dealing with the U.S. president placed as the 3rd most important issue.
Somehow important, but I think in a way he's trying to make this as an excuse for him to, that's how he called the elections, right? I think it's an excuse for him to keep going, to keep staying in the power.
We need a strong leader. Turbulent times south of the border, and Doug Ford's the guy that's got my vote.
Hey, hi! On the campaign trail today, NDP leader Marit Stiles delivered tarts to canvassing education workers. She says preserving the public school system has been a driving force in her political career. Asked if Ford's upcoming trip to Washington is giving him an unfair advantage, she had this to say.
You know what, Doug Ford, as far as I'm concerned, he quit as Premier when he called this election.
With healthcare the top priority and the PCs high in the polls, it's a question if the numbers will hold.
Despite all of the distractions that are happening down south, with their change in politics and the change the way they're interacting with our country, there is a real crisis in the healthcare system.
We'll see if now that we're talking more about healthcare, if this is a vulnerability or a risk for Doug Ford, and if we start to see those numbers change more.
Breaking the poll down by gender, more women feel healthcare is the top issue at 31%. Men cited the economy on top at 25%. But voters point to other urgent needs too.
The traffic situation is really bad, and I don't think the tunnel is the solution for that. I don't think taking out the bike lanes was the right solution. I think building better public transport, especially like GO trains, CTC, there is being work done now, which is amazing, but you know how long it takes.
Before you vote or do anything, you should always do your research, because otherwise the vote goes maybe to the wrong person.
And also, if you're 18 and up, just go out and vote and do research.
For them, exercising an informed vote is what counts.
That is CTV's Beth McDonnell reporting tonight. A Toronto City Councillor is calling out Metrolinx over safety concerns after a person was critically injured after being struck by a dump truck near a work site. The woman was hit at Mortimer and Pape on Thursday afternoon and taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. City Councillor Paula Fletcher says the vehicle involved was that of a Metrolinx subcontractor. She spoke with CP24 at the scene this afternoon.
Well, I'm asking for Metrolinx to clamp down on these big dump trucks. This Pape Avenue is to be the haul route for, I can't tell you how many thousands of metric tons of soil that's coming out. And this truck, I believe, was not following the haul route, the approved haul route, and was going to go through a residential area and hit this woman. So this is very serious. Once you're supposed to go up Pape to get on the Don Valley, that's the only way you're supposed to go, and that didn't happen. So everybody here is very upset.
A statement from Metrolinx reads, "Our thoughts are with the individual who was injured and their loved ones. An investigation is underway and we are reviewing internally. We will continue to work with our partners at the City of Toronto to ensure the safest and most appropriate routes are being used at all times." A man has been charged with attempted murder after a stabbing in Midtown. It happened near St. Clair Avenue and Bathurst Street around 10:30 Thursday night. Toronto police say a man approached another man from behind, stabbed him, and ran. The victim was taken to the hospital with critical injuries. 34-year-old Alexander Yanika Mider has been arrested and charged. He is scheduled to appear in court tomorrow. Peel police are looking for a man after an assault last week in Brampton. Police believe this car, an older model Mercedes, was used to leave the scene after a victim was approached in the area of Dixie and Father Tobin Road. This was just after midnight last Saturday. Police say the suspect attacked the victim following some sort of argument. The victim was hurt but is expected to survive. The Super Bowl has officially kicked off in New Orleans. This is a live look of a Super Bowl watch party in downtown Toronto at Real Sports. The Kansas City Chiefs are going for their record third straight Super Bowl. The Philadelphia Eagles are trying to prevent history and get revenge for a loss to the Chiefs in the big game 2 years ago. We spoke with fans before the kickoff.
I think we're going to win it. I think we're going to set history, winning 3 games straight. Well, Super Bowls, I should say. Yeah.
They're going to be demolished. The Chiefs are going to be demolished.
I'm not cheering for none of the teams, but if I had to really be realistic about it, I think Philadelphia has a chance in the first half. But I don't know about the second half. Patrick Mahomes really turns up, so we're definitely going to see what's going to happen.
I'm an Eagles fan right now, but it could go any way. Kansas is really good.
Right now, things are not looking good for the Chiefs. The Eagles have jumped out to a commanding 24-0 halftime lead, including a spectacular interception that was returned for a touchdown. You can catch the game on TSN and CTV. Peterborough police officers laced up their skates to take on the city's university hockey team, and this game was in support of fight against crime. CTV's Raheem Ladani has a story.
Take a close look at the name on these jerseys, because this isn't your typical hockey game.
Peterborough Police Service against your Trent University hockey team.
For the first time, members of the Peterborough Police Service are lining up at center ice against the men's hockey team at Trent University for a charity game.
They're younger than us, so hopefully, wisdom beats age, but I guess we'll find out.
As the puck dropped on the ice inside the Memorial Center, Fans were dropping cash into donation boxes in support of Peterborough Northumberland Crime Stoppers.
We don't run off taxpayer dollars. We do fundraisers and we rely on donations.
Crime Stoppers was created nearly 50 years ago and has grown into a partnership between law enforcement, the media, and community, all in the fight against crime.
The smallest tip can make the biggest difference, and sometimes that's the last piece that we're looking for in order to be able to move forward in our investigations.
On this night, though, Trent University was investigating the back of the goal, winning the game 4-0. But ask their coach and he'll say this was about more than the scoreboard.
Giving back, which I think is very important for the university students to be involved in the community at whatever capacity they can while there, and then, ongoing after their university studies.
Providing out-of-classroom education while fostering a stronger community.